Austin Ekeler is one of the best running backs in the NFL. And now that he's all but confirmed to play against the Cowboys, now is as good of a time as ever to check out how much of an impact he has on this offense and look at a little bit of film too. So while we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe. If you do enjoy this content, man, it helps me out so much. And now listen, man, Austin Ekeler was a major factor in putting together the best rushing performance of the year for the Chargers in week 1 with 233 yards rushing, and Austin Ekeler had 117 of those yards on only 16 carries. And on top of that, 47 yards receiving. To make that even more impressive, that was against the Dolphins defensive front with Bradley Chubb, Christian Wilkins, Jalen Phillips. All of those guys are dogs. And that Dolphins defensive front has only allowed one other 100-yard rushing performance, and it was in week 5 against the Bills, where they gave up 104 yards, but it was on 3.6 yards per carry. The Chargers had 5.8 yards per carry in their game. That was good enough for the Chargers to have the best rushing offense in week 1, and it wasn't a fluke because in the preseason we kept seeing how they were running the ball and they had such a huge amount of success in every single week of the preseason. It was consistent and it rolled into week 1, just like how Tuli Tuipulotu was playing really well in the preseason and it rolled over into the regular season. But it wasn't just Austin Ekeler that was playing like a Greek god in week 1 that allowed this rushing offense to take off and have a lot of success. It was also because of the offensive line. They were blocking really well. The tight ends were blocking really well. Even the wide receivers like Keenan Allen was throwing a couple really good blocks in there. But we have not seen that blocking at the same level since that week 1 game. Check this out. I'm going to pull up a couple clips from that Dolphins game. All right, we got pistol formation. Gerald Everett, the tight end top right here. Austin Ekeler in the backfield. This is just going to be a run to the left side. Look at the push immediately. Corey Linsley and Zion Johnson, Jamari Sawyer, they're all getting pushed over to this side. Linebacker blitzing. I believe that's Jerome Baker. Gerald Everett does a nice job of going this way, cutting back, and picking up that blitzing linebacker, boom, taking him out of the play. Austin Ekeler goes right through this hole, gets a nice chunk right there. That's a big difference of only getting like 1 or 2 yards and getting 6 because of this push by the offensive line and that block by Gerald Everett. Now in this play, you're just gonna see nice working up into the second level by Corey Linsley. Jamari Sawyer taking care of this man, Zion taking care of him, and Trey Pipkins just allowing Jalen Phillips to take himself out of the play. Now look at Tre McKitty taking on this linebacker. And once Austin Ekeler comes to this backside, because you can see Jamari Sawyer is going to pancake that man. Corey Linsley, nice job of sealing off this side of the field with that linebacker. Austin Ekeler comes to this side. Tre McKitty pushing his man down the field, trying to work for some extra yardage right there. That's really good blocking by this Chargers offensive line and Tre McKitty right here. Check it out. Austin Ekeler getting a nice pickup on this play because of the good blocking. One thing we haven't seen a lot of since this week 1 game are these tight ends blocking really well. Gerald Everett and Stone Smartt going to be pulling to this side of the field. And notice we don't have any offensive linemen pulling towards this left side. That is where this run is designed to go. So they're entrusting both of their tight ends to act as these lead blockers. Gerald Everett, our first lead blocker, boom, taking out Bradley Chubb, edge player, pretty good edge player, man. You can't argue that. And now we got Stone Smartt as our last lead blocker for Joshua Kelly, taking out the Miami DB. Cut up the fields, get as much yardage as you can. Good blocks by the tight ends and the offensive line. Check out Corey Linsley, Zion Johnson on this play. They're all doing a great job of blocking for these guys. This is probably my favorite one. We're gonna have a crash and pull right here. Trey Pipkins crashing, Jamari pulling. And now we got Tre McKitty as our lead blocker. We got Gerald Everett, the tight end, taking on this defensive lineman. Tre McKitty, boom, taking out Javon Holland, and Austin Ekeler bouncing his way into the end zone easy because of those amazing blocks. And then also check out this play really quickly. These linebackers blitzing both B gaps, and we're just going to create this huge wide open hole for Austin Ekeler, and now he's going to do the rest. I think this run was 55 yards for Austin Ekeler. He ends up getting taken down at about the 9, but look at the hole from this angle, man. Also, Justin Herbert checks into this play. Dolphins don't know what's going on, and then, the seas part. And Austin Ekeler running all the way down the field for 55 freaking yards, man. Beautiful blocking. So beautiful. So as you can see, in that week 1 game, it was great blocking paired with great running back play by both Joshua Kelly and Austin Ekeler. But now, without Corey Linsley, it seems as though the offensive line is not really performing as well as they used to. And there could be a number of reasons for this. I mean, one could be that Corey Linsley was the one calling protections, telling people who to block or who's blitzing. Another could be that the offensive line cohesion is a little off now because both of those guards don't have the same chemistry with Will Clapp in there. It could even be a chemistry thing with Justin Herbert and Will Clapp not being as comfortable with each other as Herb is with Corey Linsley. Could be a number of different things that we are only going to be able to speculate on because none of us are in that building and can talk to these guys. None of us know what they're thinking and what's going on. But all I can do is see what happens on the field and evaluate it the best way that I can. And since Corey has been gone, the blocking overall, not just the offensive line, but the tight ends and the wide receivers too, they don't look as sharp from anybody on this offense. Check this out, man. And keep in mind, these are only 1-game samples, all right? So we only had 1 game with Austin Ekeler this year, and this past game was the only game without Corey Linsley. So with that being said, here's some of the film. This is a good one to start with because I want to showcase that it's not all bad. The Chargers still do have a pretty good offensive line. This is Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson, Will Clapp right here working with this man all the way across the screen. And we have Jamari Sawyer, Trey Pipkins taking care of his man, Joshua Palmer, Jamari Sawyer putting that man on the dirt. And now Derius Davis cutting back. And check this out, Donald Parham getting in the action. Keenan Allen in a full sprint to try to pick up another block. Ends up not even mattering because Trayvon Merry gets the tackle on Derius Davis. But oh my goodness, when you have the effort like this, I need to move my freaking face cam. Okay, look at this. Keenan Allen at the bottom of the screen right here. You see how he's starting to sprint once he sees Derius Davis cut across the field? That is the effort that I want to see from everybody on this offense, man. Keenan Allen is a dog. We got another crash and pull, and this time Will Clapp is totally giving it away. Look at his eyes. He's looking straight at this Raiders defender, snap the ball, go right towards him, crash into that direction. Now we got Zion pulling, Gerald Everett pulling towards this side, and let's check out how Zion blocks Isaac Rochelle. Ooh, he just gets thrown away. And that is a TFL on Isaiah Spiller. Divine Diablo is right there as well. But Gerald Everett, not a bad block on Marcus Peters right here, pushing him back. He's doing his job, but there are 3 Raiders defenders ready to get that tackle. And now remember in week 1 when I was telling you about the push the Chargers offensive line had? Let's look at the push here. We're going back, back. Yeah, that's kind of a push right there. And right here, we're going into the second level, but he wasn't blocking anybody. Jamari Sawyer doing a nice job of climbing. Zion Johnson is turning around on this play. Will Clapp getting pushed all the way back. And this is just, you got no chance right here. You have no chance. It's rough. Joshua Palmer can't even get the block on his man right there. It's just bad blocking and no yardage to be gained on that one. Now, when you have good running backs like Joshua Kelly and Austin Ekeler, they can do crazy things like this. Check this out. He's just going to run right into this defensive lineman, but Zion Johnson is going to keep working with him, and he runs through this tackle, runs through another tackle off that top side of the line that Tre McKitty was blocking Max Crosby. And now, right here, if Quentin Johnston stays up, bro, this could be a touchdown, but he falls, and then this man ends up getting the tackle on Joshua Kelly. Look at it from this angle so you can really appreciate Zion Johnson working with his man. Almost a tackle right here. Joshua Kelly does a nice job of bouncing off. Another nice job of bouncing off, or working through, rather, Max Crosby, and then almost getting a touchdown on that play if Quentin Johnston held his block. Look at Tre McKitty, though, working on Max Crosby. Doesn't do a great job. He's kind of getting flung around, worked on. But that's Max Crosby, man. That's one of the best edge players in the league. So when I say that everybody on the Chargers is not blocking as well, this is a really good example of what I'm talking about. Look at Stone Smart, Donald Parham, Derius Davis, and Trey Pipkins right here. These are our main guys that we're going to watch these for. Tyree Wilson blows up Donald Parham. Derius Davis doesn't really get a good grip on Amik Robertson, just lets him leak right through. Stone Smart lets him go as well because his man is this safety, or really, I guess that's just the deep cornerback. That's Marcus Peters. And Tyree Wilson kind of takes up Trey Pipkins as well. But Amik Robertson is going through because no one's going to take this man. Will Clapp lets Robert Spillane go through because I guess his man is Divine Diablo, number 5. So that creates Amik Robertson coming in free. Tyree Wilson right there taking up 2 blockers. Divine Diablo coming through. Robert Spillane coming through. And so it's 1 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Raiders with all the other Chargers just kind of letting them leak through this blocking. It's kind of confusing to see, like, they're not helping each other out with the blocks that they're clearly missing because they're so focused on getting their own assignment. It's just a rough play all around. Even the Chargers' best offensive lineman, Rashawn Slater, one of the best in the league, is not immune to missing blocks. Luke Masterson right here in the second level does a good job of climbing up here, but boom, he's too fast. Makes Rashawn Slater miss and gets that tackle on the running back. But on this play, Rashawn Slater does a nice job of working on this double team going into the second level. But we're not looking at him. We're looking at these 3 tight ends, Trey Pipkins, Donald Parham, and Gerald Everett. They're just not going to do good blocking on this play. Every single one of them. You can see that's Tre McKitty's man right there. That's Gerald Everett's man. And that is Donald Parham's man. All of these guys are going to be in on the tackle, not allowing any space at all for the running back. That's completely on your 3 tight ends that you have all lined up right here, just trying to take on 3 guys. So that is the film, man. And since week 1, the Chargers offense were ranked the best in the league. They are now 20th in the NFL in rushing yards and 18th in yards per carry. And obviously there are a lot of reasons for that. Let me know what you guys think is the biggest reason, but also this next game against the Cowboys, it's a very important game. If you want to see how Dak Prescott is playing, go ahead and click here. Spoiler alert, not too good.